Once upon a time, in a grand kingdom ruled by a wise and generous king, there lived a monk renowned for his wisdom and spirituality. It was a well-known tradition in the kingdom that the first person to arrive at the palace each day would be granted any wish they desired by the benevolent king. One fateful day, as the sun began to rise, the monk arrived at the palace gates. As he approached the magnificent entrance, he was greeted with reverence by the guards who knew of his reputation. News of the monk's arrival quickly reached the king, who eagerly summoned him to the throne room. With a serene smile on his face, the monk stood before the king and said, "Your Majesty, I have come to make a humble request." The king, intrigued by the monk's presence, responded warmly, "You are most welcome, revered monk. Ask for whatever you desire, and it shall be granted." The monk reached into his robes and pulled out a small alms pot, made from an intricately carved human skull. Holding it gently in his hand, he said, "Your Majesty, I request that you fill this alms pot with gold coins." The king was taken aback by the simplicity of the monk's request. He thought to himself, what could be easier than filling a small pot with gold coins? Intrigued by the monk's humble request, the king summoned his servants and commanded them to bring forth bags of gold coins. The bags were emptied into the alms pot, but to everyone's surprise, the pot remained empty. Perplexed, the king ordered more bags of gold coins to be poured into the pot, yet it continued to appear empty, as if mocking their efforts. The king's curiosity turned into determination as he emptied his treasuries, piling the gold coins into the alms pot. However, no matter how many coins were poured into it, the pot remained empty, defying the king's attempts to fill it. With a mix of frustration and awe, the king finally admitted defeat. Looking at the monk with a sense of wonder, he said, "Revered monk, your alms pot is no ordinary vessel. It seems to possess a mystical power that defies my ability to fill it. Pray, tell me the secret behind this extraordinary artifact." The monk's eyes twinkled with amusement as he replied, "Your Majesty, there is no secret to this alms pot. It is made from a human skull that I found while walking. Just as the human mind is insatiable and can never be filled, so is this alms pot. No matter how much you pour into it, it will always remain empty." The king was struck by the profound truth in the monk's words. He realized that the alms pot was a metaphor for the human condition, the relentless pursuit of material desires that can never truly satisfy the hunger of the heart. The monk continued, his voice filled with wisdom, "You see, Your Majesty, the material possessions, wealth, and knowledge that we accumulate in our lives may bring temporary satisfaction, but they can never fill the void within us. The human heart is designed to seek something greater, something divine. It is only through the pursuit of spiritual enlightenment and a connection with the divine that we can find true fulfillment." The king reflected on the monk's words, realizing the truth in them. He had spent his life amassing wealth and power, thinking that they would bring him lasting happiness. Yet, despite his vast treasures and accomplishments, he felt an emptiness within him that could not be filled by worldly possessions. With a newfound understanding, the king humbly bowed before the monk and said, "Revered monk, your words have touched my soul. I now realize that the key to true fulfillment lies not in the accumulation of material wealth, but in seeking a deeper connection with the divine. Please guide me on the path to self-knowledge and spiritual enlightenment." The monk smiled warmly, his eyes filled with compassion. He offered his hand to the king and said, "Your Majesty, the path to self-knowledge and spiritual enlightenment begins with reducing our desires and cleansing the mind from the attachments to material possessions. When we empty the closet of our minds from the clutter of worldly desires, we create space for the divine to reside within us. Only then can we find true contentment and fulfillment." From that day forward, the king embarked on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth under the guidance of the monk. He learned to detach himself from the illusion of material wealth and focused his energy on cultivating inner peace, compassion, and love. As he delved deeper into the realms of spirituality, the king discovered a profound sense of fulfillment that surpassed any worldly achievement. The tale of the monk and the magical alms pot serves as a powerful reminder of the fleeting nature of material desires and the eternal quest for spiritual enlightenment. It teaches us that true fulfillment can only be found when we let go of our attachment to material possessions and turn our attention towards the pursuit of self-knowledge and a deeper connection with the divine. In our modern world, where consumerism and the accumulation of wealth often take center stage, the story of the monk and the alms pot holds a timeless message. It reminds us that the pursuit of material possessions alone can never bring lasting happiness or fulfillment. No matter how much we acquire, there will always be a lingering sense of emptiness if we neglect the spiritual aspect of our lives. We live in a society that constantly bombards us with messages of materialism and the idea that happiness can be found in external objects. We are encouraged to seek fulfillment through the acquisition of the latest gadgets, fashionable clothes, luxurious cars, and lavish lifestyles. However, the monk's alms pot reminds us that these things are mere illusions, incapable of satisfying the deepest longings of our hearts. The human heart is a vessel meant to be filled with something far greater than material possessions. It yearns for a connection with the divine, a sense of purpose and meaning that transcends the boundaries of the physical world. When we chase after material desires without considering the spiritual dimension of our existence, we find ourselves caught in an endless cycle of craving and dissatisfaction. The monk's laughter in the face of the king's futile attempts to fill the alms pot with gold coins serves as a gentle reminder that true wealth lies not in external riches, but in the richness of the soul. Our hearts are designed to be filled with love, compassion, gratitude, and spiritual wisdom. These are the treasures that bring lasting fulfillment and joy. The story also highlights the importance of self-awareness and self-knowledge in our journey towards fulfillment. The monk's insight into the insatiable nature of the human mind resonates deeply with our own experiences. How often have we found ourselves pursuing one desire after another, thinking that each new acquisition will finally bring us happiness? Yet, as the monk reminds us, the mind is never full. It constantly seeks more, perpetuating a cycle of longing and discontentment. To break free from this cycle, we must embark on a journey of self-discovery, peering into the depths of our own hearts and minds. We must question our desires and examine the underlying motivations behind our actions. Are we seeking material possessions to fill a void within us, or are we genuinely pursuing a path that aligns with our true values and purpose? By reducing our desires and letting go of attachments to material possessions, we create space for the divine to enter our lives. This does not mean that we must renounce all worldly pleasures or live as ascetics. Rather, it is about cultivating a mindset of detachment and recognizing that true fulfillment does not come from external sources, but from within. We can find fulfillment in the simplest of things: a breathtaking sunset, a heartfelt conversation, a moment of stillness in nature. By shifting our focus from the pursuit of material wealth to the cultivation of inner peace and contentment, we open ourselves up to a world of infinite possibilities. The story of the monk and the alms pot also serves as a reminder that the journey towards self-knowledge and spiritual enlightenment is a lifelong process. It requires patience, perseverance, and a willingness to confront our own inner demons. It is not a path without challenges, but the rewards far outweigh the difficulties. As we embark on this journey, we begin to discover a sense of purpose and meaning that transcends the transient nature of material possessions. We realize that true wealth lies not in what we have, but in who we are. Our lives become imbued with a sense of authenticity and depth, and we find ourselves radiating love, kindness, and compassion towards all beings. In a world that often values material gain above all else, The story of the monk and the alms pot serves as a powerful antidote. It reminds us that true fulfillment cannot be found in the pursuit of external riches alone. It calls us to look within, to explore the depths of our own hearts, and to seek a connection with the divine. So, let us heed the wisdom of the monk and strive to reduce our desires, empty the closets of our minds from the clutter of material possessions, and make space for the divine to reside within us. In doing so, we can embark on a journey of self-discovery, spiritual growth, and profound fulfillment. For it is in the embrace of our own inner divinity that we find true contentment and the richness of a life well lived.